and watch it later. So this is the platform. As soon you guys will log in, the login process very simple. Your team leaders will have the IDs. They will assign it to you. You have to log in with your ID and password. After login, you have to click on this workspace icon. This one. Then you have to go to My Jobs like this, and then you will see here in the annotation tab, there are two tasks, like two separate languages. The first one and the second one. The first one is Japanese, and the second one is, I think so, French. I haven't checked it yet, so we will check it later. So first, the team which is assigned with German language, they have to open the task for the German one. We will make sure that you guys know what's the task name for German language and what's the task name for the Polish or French and vice versa. So for example, this one is a German. Whenever you are willing to work, you have to click on continue and a new tab will open, and the annotation platform, the annotation section will be open to you, will be visible to you, and you have to wait here for a moment for the platform to load. Now, this is the simple platform. There's no need to do any extra things. You can see that there is an image. With the with the right key of the mouse, you can drag the image like this, and with the rollers, you can zoom in and zoom out as well. Here as well, from here, if any of the person is working on laptop, as they don't have the mouse, so they can't scroll. So like you can here manually adjust the zoom level, for example, like this and this. Okay, if you want to zoom it more, you can adjust it like this. So like, so this is the thing. These were some kind of hotkeys and accessibilities which you guys can use while working. Okay. So from this option, you can like increase the contrast if any the text is not visible or clearly shown. So like you can like increase the contrast or brightness and any other thing. So I'm just going to reset it. So now what we have to do, the basic work in this project is that here we can see that we have some text visible, text written on this image. This is the receipt. I think so. It's a receipt from a coffee shop. Here we can see that cafe hub. Uh, so we have to annotate this images. Like we have to make boxes on the text, and then we have to type what is written in that box. And as well as we have enabled AI annotation here as well. As soon you will make a box, the AI annotation will be there already, but you have to make sure that the transcription is correct or not. If there is any correction, like the text is not matching with the box, then you have to do the correction. So how you have to make the box? Here we have two options. The first one is the rectangular box, and the second option we have is the polygon box. But here we just have to use the rectangle one. So like this. Let me zoom in a bit. Actually, I don't have scroller, so I'm using this key like this. Okay. You can zoom in more. The best practice is to zoom as much as you can. So like you can properly make the boundaries without cutting out the text. So like here, like this, you have to place your mouse, then draw a box like this. You have to make sure that the boxes boundaries, the boxes borders are close to the text. There should be no gap, extra gap. Like this, you have to make sure that the text is within the box, but the boundary shouldn't cut off the text. You have to make sure like this. Okay, so like this, you have to make a box. Now it will automatically detect the text. See. If I go to the transcription box here, you can see the transcription is automatically there. We have to make sure that there are no mistakes. So I'm going to cross check SCHIFFBAUERDAMM. And it's totally right. Then we have some attributes. The first one is handwriting. Here we can clearly see that this is not in handwriting. This is a printed text, so we have marked it as false. But while doing the work, if there's any handwritten image visible to you, then you have to mark true there. Then we have the orientation. we have to select here that this text is in which orientation. So it's in the normal, horizontal, or vertical. The second one is of rotate clockwise. For example, if the image is on the left side like this, and you are going to so you have to you have to like adjust this image. So like if any image is like this, you have to rotate it like this. I'm going to rotate it on the right side on 90 degrees. So I have rotated it here on 90 degrees. So you have to select 90. If you are rotating the image at 180 degree, then you have to click 180. And if you are rotating the image to 270 degree, then you have to rotate it. Then you have to select this option. And if you are not sure with the angle, you have to mark it unsure. But in this case, the image was fine. We didn't rotate ourselves. The image was in correct orientation. So we have just selected the positive one. Then we have an attribute for language. If it's a if in the image, if in the box it's only German or French or Polish, then you just have to mark German. If there's only text, then you have to just select the text language. Okay. If there's only digit, then you have to select digit. If it's English word or English alphabets, like English alphabet, not English words. If in the box there's an English word, then you have to select English. If it is Chinese, we don't have to mark Chinese. If there is any Chinese in the image, then we have to mark it as invalid from here. And then other, or if there's a QR code, you have to select, you have to make a box on the QR code and just select QR code. And then we have symbols, and this is the barcode, and this unsure. And then the last option we have of punctuation. I will explain this in when we will be watching the guidelines. So this is the thing. Now I'm going to make the second box like this. Just uh, it was fine. I have to select here. It's just text, and the text is in German. So I'm going to select a language German, and here you can see the box number one is now properly segmented. Now make sure that there are no errors. For example, if there is any error and you have to do the adjustment, you have to click on this icon, select the borders like this, and then you can do the adjustment like this. You can do the adjustment. If you think that any of the boundary or any of the border is cutting out the text, then you can adjust it like this. Okay. Then again, just click on the screen, and then that changes are now done properly, are saved properly. As well as you can use the save button to save your annotation. It's a very good practice because we are working on in Asian countries, so we are never sure whether if there is any outage of electricity or internet downtime. So it's better that we use this save key frequently so that our work is not lost. Then let's make another box like this. I'm going to select this key again and make another box. By the way, laptop users can make very good boxes because like they use their fingers as compared to mouse one, but it totally depends on your experience, which one suits the best. Here it wasn't any handwriting. I have marked this false. The orientation is fine. And here it is a digit 12. Then I'm going to mark it as digit, and that digit is 12. I'm going to write it here. Now I can see that there are some changes. There are some corrections. Here you can see that there is an extra gap here. So I'm going to adjust it. And here as well, you can see that the text is now being cut off. So I'm going to zoom in a bit like this to make a very precise boxing. Then I'm going to click on this option and I will do the adjustment properly. Okay, here you can see that the text was cutting off. So I'm going to adjust it. And here you can see that the text is now properly in the box without any cutoffs. Okay, I'm going to click on the screen again to save the changes. So these were the basic rules, how we have to do the segmentation and how we have to do how we have to make the boxes. Okay. So now let's move towards the guidelines. So like you guys will have have a very vast understanding of this project. What's the basic rules and what type of annotation we have to do. So let's move towards the guidelines. So these are the guidelines. Uh, I'm going to read the rules specifically one by one. If there's any confusion, so you guys can ask me at the same point. So the first one is labeling requirements. This product specification, just leave it. Then we have image processing. At present, there are many vertical images. Before annotation, they should be uniformly converted into annotation as horizontal, one for shown in the figure. For example, when you are working, if there's an image which is in the wrong orientation, okay, so you have to adjust it. You have to, if the image is in the vertical form, then you have to adjust the image in the horizontal form by using these keys. And when you are changing the rotation, you have to mark that orientation attribute as well, that on like at what angle you have oriented the image. Okay, so then the second thing is vertical images need to be converted to horizontal, such as left to right, and image deletion is not marked for images with blur or distortion. Okay, if any image which is blur and you can't see the text properly, then you can mark that image as invalid. Then column raw labeling mode in the font size of the same line changes or it is not on the same line, it should be divided into lines as shown in the figure. Here you can see that this first box was the font size was bigger as compared to the second one. That's why they have made separate boxes. So you have to make sure that if in the same line, if in the same row, if there are two texts and the sizes are different, then we have to make two separate boxes. But if the text is in the same size, in the same font size, then we have to make a single box. Okay, you guys can ask me at any point if there is any confusion. Then the second point we have, if the space between characters exceeds two character lengths, it is divided into two lines. For example, here you can see that there's a Japanese text written, but you can see that there is a space of more than two characters. So at this moment, we have to make two separate boxes. Okay, then in 1 to 2 characters separated by English space, no line break is shown in the figure below. If there's only one character space between Shenzhen Beauty and formula in the figure above, use an English space to separate them. So here it's clearly written that if there's a single image in an English character, then we can make a single box. Okay, we can like show the space by show the gap by just one single space. But if the space is more than two characters, then we have to make a separate boxes for each text for each word. Then we have font layout is an example of curved lines. So these are the curved lines. So I'm going to ask a question. I- If you have this type of scenario, what you will do? Will you make a single box or you will be making two separate boxes? This is a question from my side. Please answer. In this case, what you will do? A single box or two different boxes? You can use a chat box to answer. Yes, right. Two boxes because the first thing is that there's the gap between them which is of more than two characters, and the second thing is it's not in the same line. We are using the rectangle box, and with the help of rectangle box we can never make a single box, because like how will you be making a box like this? Like if the first point is here and the second point will cut off the text and the third point and then fourth point, so like it's not allowed in the rectangle mode to make a box on the curved lines. Okay. Then we have the fifth point. As a special case, the QR code is marked in a separate line and needs to be transcribed as QR. The QR code is transcribed as barcode, but the number below the QR code needs to be marked separately. For example, if in the image there is a QR code or a barcode, Then you have to make the box, and in the transcription box, like in the transcription text, you have to write QR like this. Okay. And if there's a barcode, then you have to make a single box like this. Okay. Then you have to write barcode, and then the numbers will be transcribed normally: 97840419240 and 7. Okay. So any confusion till now? Any questions? I think so there are no questions. So we'll continue further. Then this project names arranged vertically should be marked by columns as shown in the figure. Okay, so if there is any vertical text like this, okay, then we have to mark that text vertically. What does it mean by vertically? Like we have to make a box, we have to make a vertical box, but the transcription will be general way in the horizontal format. Okay, let me check the text chat box. Clear. Right. And then we have the seventh point. In the case of vertical columns and font rotation as shown in the figure number 7, mark whole line rotation on whole line to indicate the rotation angle of the text. So what's in the image? Now here we have an example. Like you can see that the text is vertical. Like the box is drawn vertically, but the text is horizontal. Okay, so what we will do, we will be making the same box and we will be transcribing the text as it is in the horizontal line as we do normally. Okay, but we need to mark the angle. The image, the text is in 90-degree. Okay, here you can see, because like if I will open a compass, you can see here that this is in the 90-degree. Let me draw. See, this is the 90-degree. Okay, this 30, then 90, then 180, and then here we have 275 below. Okay, so you can see that the box was drawn in the 90-degree angle. When you are making a box like this, so you have to make it mark the 90-degree option. But if the box is drawn in normal horizontal way, then you have to mark that normal option. Okay, so let me just erase it. Okay, so any questions? No, we have a different platform. I think so. You have joined the meeting late. Uh, we will be working on this platform. It's Data Plus. We will provide you the IDs, and then you guys will be working on the online platform. No working will be done on MS Office or MS Word. All the work will be done on the online platform. Then we have the ninth option for fonts with diagonal alignment. The annotation should be made according to the overall line as shown in the figure. It's the same thing. Example of the italic font annotation. No need to. Uh, then the 10th point, in the transcription, all characters encountered should be halved with characters in. Okay. So the meeting will expire in 10 minutes. But we will share a new link so you guys can join it as well. The quality control process, in addition to the text transcription, quality control is necessary to check them uniformly correct. Leave it. Then we have indicators and trademarks. In the picture don't need to be annotated. Any symbols or icons like this, like these, there's no need to make any boxes. There's no need to annotate them. For the text with the arrows, you can divide into multiple boxes for annotation, but don't annotate the ones that appear separately. Then we have there is no need to annotate the UI buttons and meaningless symbols that appear separately in the data. Examples are shown in the green box part. For example, these are some UI symbols like the upward arrow. There's no need to annotate these symbols. Just make the boxes on the available text like this. Okay, the green ones are the correct examples. Once again, the red ones are the wrong. There's no need to do any annotation on these symbols. This one, or this one. Just make the boxes on the text, on the visible text. No need to mark these, no need to mark these, no need to mark these. Just transcribe the green text. Okay, some more examples. For symbols that cannot be determined whether they need to be marked or not, you can communicate with the corresponding product manager. For example, any of the symbol which is not sure, like there are some symbols which includes text. So like at that moment, you can ask your team leader, and then they will ask us, and we will inform you whether that icon should be transcribed, should be annotated or not, and we will help you out at that moment. Then the fourth point we have, 14 point, we have the transcribed text content must be 98% accuracy. This is the required accuracy. If any of the image which is below 98 will be rejected, and then you have to rework again. So make sure that your content, your text accuracy is above 98%. Then we have the all punctuation marks in the English picture are English symbols. For special symbols that cannot be input, copy the corresponding symbol in this is symbol transcription table. The table is at the bottom of the document. So they have given us a table. The capitalization of English letters shall be subject to actual annotation. You have to write, you have to do the transcription according to the same written text. For example, if any of the alphabet is capitalized, then you have to capitalize it. If it's in a small letter, you have to mark it in a small letter. Let me check the chat box. I can see some questions are there. Okay, guidelines will, yes, we will share the guidelines with the recorded video. Yes, I want to listen this lecture again. I joined it bit late. Yeah, that's fine. We are doing the recording, and you guys can watch it again. Then the for 17 point is when the text is completely unclear, blocked, and cannot be identified as what character use. Okay. So if any text, for example, in the image, if any of the word which is blocked or unclear and you can't identify what the character was that, then you have to place this at that part of the text. Okay. If there are several characters, use several uh, uses several asterisks instead, otherwise it needs to be transcribed. For the obscured or truncated font, if you can determine what the character is, it is marked as the corresponding font. If the obscuration ratio is large and you can't see what the character is it is marked as asterisk. Okay, the same thing is this. If the whole line is fuzzy or most of the content of the whole line is fuzzy, the whole line is marked as hashtags. I will give an example of this while we will doing the annotation. All translation characters, whether Chinese, English, or symbol, shall be input. Uh, there's no need to consider this point. It's done in the back end of the platform. All characters are translated in half. Let it go. If I'm a data annotation, then makes a sentence. Okay, no need to. Mhm. Example annotation. If the tilt angle in the text is feeling. Okay, so these are the some basic things which you guys can read it later. Basically, it's the same thing which I have um, uh, shared with you earlier. Okay, so you guys can like check these while working. These are the basic things. Okay, so any of the text which is like here you can see in this image that the text, the both of the text is overlapping with each other. So these type of images will be marked as invalid. Okay. The border fits the text is shown. Huh. We have to make sure that the border fits the text within the boundaries. Okay, which I have shared with you earlier. Accuracy requirements and delivery format. There's no need to think about it. Okay, so we are done with the things. So this is a table. If we have a QR, then we have to mark this for barcodes. This and these are the currencies. Well numbers and percentage and at the rate. Okay, so these are some of the problems which was encountered while we were working formerly. So we have shared some examples here. For text annotation, do not overlap the overlapping areas of the annotation box. Use the polygon annotation. The example reference is follows. Actually, I can't make you understand this at this time. When you are working on the platform, then you will have better understanding what this is about. So for the moment, skip this. When you're working, if you encounter any of these images, then you have to open the guidelines and read it again. So you will have the better understanding. Okay. Okay, so I'm not going to read all of these. These are the things which can be clearly understandable to you when you guys are working on the platform. Let's move towards the platform again, so like we can continue further. So here we have made only one box, so let's make some more. So we have better understanding. So okay, so as we know that in the attributes, we are selecting separate attributes for digits and the text and punctuations and all other things. So we have to make separate boxes as well. For digits, we have to make a separate box. For text, we have to make a separate box. For the punctuation marks, we have to make a separate box. Like the punctuation marks which have a which have a gap of more than two characters. So for those type of punctuation marks, we have to make a separate box. So let's make another box. I will make the boxes randomly. So please don't question my accuracy. I'm just drawing it randomly so you guys can like have an understanding. But you have to make sure that the text fits within the frame without any cutoffs. So it's fine and it's digit and the digits should be there. But by the way, you can use this AI option for the AI machine to recognize the text 10117. Then again, click on the screen. It's saved. Make the next box like this. I'm just making the box randomly, but you don't have to work it like this. You have to make sure the text fits in the frame. Then again, it's the right size. The language is in German. Then Berlin. And then that's so here now we will make a separate boxes for these digits, and here you can clearly see that the punctuation the space between this tag these digits and punctuation mark is too much. It's more than two characters. That's why we will be making a separate box. Then it's normal digit and transmissions there already. Let's make another box like this. Okay, I'm just making it randomly. Please make sure that you don't do it like this. The text should fit within the borders. And then the punctuation mark. Then again, second, it's the seventh box. Then it's digit 810. Basically, this Berlin will be marked as English because it's written in the English spelling. Okay, then let me show you some other examples